Dyslexia is a neurological disorder that affects the development of both decoding and encoding. Decoding is reading and pronouncing words. Encoding is spelling the words. There is a marked difference between their listening, comprehension, and verbal abilities and reading and spelling skills, unexpected in relation to the person's other abilities. Dyslexia can be many things. It can be a difficulty learning to rhyme words, difficulty learning letter sounds, confusing letters and words that have a similar appearance, such as the letter B and D, or the words there and where. It can be reversing letters and transposing letters of words such as the letters P and Q, or the words on and no. It can be trouble arranging letters in the correct order when spelling, difficulty with remembering irregular words, spelling the same word different ways on the same page, spelling words the way they sound, not look, difficulty pronouncing multisyllabic words, slow word perception that affects reading rate and fluency, and vocabulary growth and background knowledge may be lessened due to reduced reading experiences. Dyslexia is not an oral language impairment, an attention or behavior problem, a primary problem with reading comprehension or written expression, poor vision or poor hearing, autism, related to family income or ethnic background, or the result of poor teaching or limited intelligence. There are also many strengths to dyslexia. Students with dyslexia are creative, intuitive, persistent, empathetic, they are critical thinkers, they are big picture thinkers, they have strong reasoning skills, they are excellent at solving puzzles, and they have excelled oral comprehension. 5 to 8% of the school-age population are dyslexic. Some students are not identified with dyslexia until the reading demands of upper grades, particularly students with advanced verbal abilities. Some students are never identified and go through life avoiding reading and writing. There are multiple things one can do as a teacher to help students in the classroom who are dyslexic. The teacher can have tests read to students, provide notes or have an oral recording, assign homework that enables the students to use technology, have visual and hand-on activities, and have record assistance for the textbook. Of value to all children in the class is an outline of what is going to be taught in the lesson, ending the lesson with a resume of what has been taught. In this way, information is more likely to go from short-term memory to long-term memory. When homework is set, it is important to check that the child correctly writes down exactly what is required. Try to ensure that the appropriate worksheets and books are with the child to take home. In the front of the pupil's homework book, get them to write down the telephone numbers of a couple of friends. Then, if there is any doubt over homework, they can ring up and check, rather than worry or spend time doing the wrong work. Make sure that messages and day-to-day classroom activities are written down and never sent verbally. To help dyslexic students with decoding text, they can do word sorting activities. Word sorting provides students with opportunities to sort words many ways, such as onset and rhyme, vowel patterns, and syllable patterns. This helps them look closely at words for similarities and differences and strengthen overall decoding skills. Accurately understanding the vocabulary is a very important aspect of both listening and comprehension skills. You can help your student enhance this vocabulary through interactive, hands-on experiences. The more fun and involvement your student has, the more he will recall. Whenever possible, encourage your child to think of a key or hook to help them remember a given word. He can then act out the hook. This develops motor memory, which is a very powerful way to help trigger the meaning of a word. One of the keys to comprehension is that the student must be involved. Reading must be purposeful and active. The student can practice the post-it note strategy. As she reads a section, have her place a post-it note on that section and record a key word or phrase that represents the main idea. At the end, the child will organize the post-it notes in order and create a more specific visual organizer. In order to be able to teach as far as possible according to each child's educational needs, it is essential to see him or her as a whole person, complete with individual strengths and weaknesses. An understanding of the pupil's specific difficulties and how they may affect the student's classroom performance can enable the teacher to adopt teaching methods and strategies to help the dyslexic child to be successfully integrated into this classroom environment. Above all, there must be an understanding from all who teach them that they may have many talents and skills. Their abilities must not be measured purely on the basis of their difficulties in acquiring literacy skills. Dyslexic children, like all children, thrive on challenges and success.